No, I just as creators ourselves though, like as an author, as an artist, we're
As a
trying to
former fat
create
kid.
something as a current fat man. Now we are trying to create stories ourselves that are diverse,
Mm-hmm.
but like you don't have to demonize one group or eradicate a group to have a diverse story. You just write other characters and let them be interesting. Like I just I don't like the idea of I don't know. I don't like the
Yeah.
idea of censorship at all, and I don't like the idea of token diversity.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I mean, that's the whole thing. Is like we specifically have tried to do things they either haven't been done before or in ways they haven't been done before. And if we have to get this petty, a lot of our color or a lot of our characters are people of color, if we have to use that term, which I would just say they're people. but but it's not an intentional idea to like do this for tokenization or to do this for points or to sell it. It's just we think this is like what looks good on a page or what looks good in design, or that's usually it. It's like it comes down to a design thing because it's a visual medium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
it's also the backgrounds and the history these characters have
yeah.
that inform who they are and the decisions they make. You know, it if it serves the story, then
Mm-hmm.
they are going to have a certain background. It's not looking at and say, oh, we need more brown people,
Yeah.
or we need a yellow person, or we need whatever
Purple, or blue.
purple porpoise.
Well, to give an example, to go because this is the Godfall Universe podcast, so let's talk about the Godfall Universe real quick. The reason Zero, his brother Negative, and the denominator are black is because they come from certain African nations where the Order has um, exploited the people through like
Yeah.
like we have done today, like everybody has done today. It's like Africa's kind of like the world's punching bag, unfortunately. Um,
Hmm.
and that's why they are the character they are today. Um, she is Chinese because we kind of wanted to include like the CRISPR program, which is an actual thing of gene editing that is happening. Um, Maria is Colombian because there's I mean we wanted to kind of touch in some of the stuff that happens in that kind of region, especially with drug cartels. I mean, so a lot of that happens more like in Mexico than in Colombia, but still, uh, little things like what's her Chuni is
A
yeah, she's a
Sikh.
sheik, a Sikh. I never know how to properly pronounce that. I think sheik is a king, and she's a Sikh, and she's been dealing with kind of um she's been caught between religious extremisms, not from her side, but from other sects and other groups. And I think that's how you kind of do it. And that's the whole thing is like if you don't have to have a reason for making a character the way they are, but I mean, if you're gonna in today's age, if you're gonna diversify intentionally, which I don't think you should probably do anything like that intentionally, at least go with it and have a reason and make them a character.
Right.
And that's what
Well,
I
see,
want. I
that's
wanted I
and
wanted a global cast. You know.
right. And the thing is, those aspects of who they are in, inform their character, their motivations, their decisions. They're not just a color,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're not just oh, there's a black girl, there's a Chinese man. Like it's the whole character is wrapped up in that,
Mm-hmm.
and they also don't stay that same place that we meet them. Like
Mm-hmm.
they grow from that place, and they grow to appreciate one another. They grow to work together. And they will have times when they don't work together well. They will have times when they clash against each other because they're different and they don't see the world the same way. They don't have the same set of background experiences. Their schemas are different, but they learn how to say, okay, there's something bigger than us, And that to me is an interesting character, not just saying, well, I want us we need to have somebody that's this, that, or the other. We need to check a box.
Well, and I hate to use this but it's so true. That's what racism is. Racism is thinking that because a person looks a certain way, that they encompass the entire worldview and lived experience of other people who look that way.
Right.
But that is what anti-racism is now. It's to assume that and then blame other people that look differently for their entire group. What the
Yeah.
whole thing is, like, when Zero brings them together, is that they've shared past trauma, basically, and it came in
Hmm.
a myriad different ways. But the whole point is that because they're individuals and because they're humans, they're all affected by it, no matter when it
Hmm.
took place. Because some of them are time displaced. I shouldn't say time displaced. Some of them are lived before and were frozen, basically. There's no time travel in our stuff. Um, so they're from different times, basically, different religions, different locations, different cultures, but they all share that they're human. And that's the whole thing. And Zero brings them together because of that.
And they all suffered at the hands of the order, who have had the same ideologies for a really long time.
Mm-hmm. Who are progressives in the idea that they think history has to go a certain way, and that they have to be a nanny state to a certain degree and push everything that way, and that they're the few council special Soviet elite that get to determine that for everybody. And I say Soviet in the sense of what that word actually means, which is like council or whatever.
To the point that, like we've mentioned before, they are actively trying to create a god that
Mm-hmm.
they control. That's
Yeah.
the whole overarching thing. And what you'll find, and this isn't a spoiler because Apollyon 20XX, anybody who's listened to us knows that this is just the first of many eras. Like this story is going to end with the destruction of the world as we know it,
Mm-hmm.
and then we build a new world on the from the ashes of that.
Mm-hmm. And that's going to be millennia in length.
Yeah, because there's if you take that, this the all of these ideas that we've been talking about week in and week out, if you take these things and allow them to be strong and gain power and gain momentum and reach their logical conclusion,
Mm-hmm.
ultimately that conclusion is destruction. It has to be.
Yeah.